so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. But it comes to the end of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Running fast for the edge of my life. Jesus saved me in time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. It is here in the Father's kingdom. It was there for me. You took me in, and you washed away my sin. You washed away my sin.
You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network.
Oh wow! All right, there we go. Wow, for some reason I was muted. Whoopsie. Thanks, Afternoon Tune. Shout out to Afternoon Tune for calling me on that. That would have been terrible. Oh, there we go. So shit. Let me just repeat all that. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I know. What would I do without you? Hey, good looking out, man. I appreciate it. But I'll simply say I have some stuff potential on the horizon that could be pretty big. So please keep me in your prayers. Send out good vibes. All of that. You literally saved me. Okay, yes, you did in this case. That would have been really bad if I did this whole did this whole fucking stream. There was no sound. That would have been really sad. So yeah, y'all just send some good vibes. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, this year, 2025 had some really great stuff, and I realized getting that Oscars and all that, I was like, damn, when do I want to get this done? And as we're coming up on summer movie season and things are starting to I'm actually getting back to the theater for the first time since God, what was the last thing I saw in theaters? I think The Housemaid was the last thing I saw in theaters. So it's been a minute, but I'm gonna go check out Obsessed, and is on Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday. I'm checking those out. And I might even check out something on Saturday as well. Hi, Milo making. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, Milo making an appearance here. But yeah, y'all. Last year, there's a lot of stuff I really enjoyed, and I probably redid my list. I don't know, because I've been using Letterboxd. Letterboxd has become one of my favorite things. God bless Letterboxd. But I probably redid my list like 30 times at least, in terms of like rearranging and re-ranking and going, oh, maybe this deserves to be here. And I really went back and forth. So because of that, I did want to put a spotlight on some stuff that I think people really should check out, but that maybe you just haven't checked out. So I'm going to do a little honorable mentions before I jump in to my list proper. So I don't really have these ranked, but just for sake of consistency, I'll go based on what my letterbox is. So I'm going to do 20 through 11 basically right now, for what I watched last year. So my number 20 is this really cool indie film that I think a lot of people probably haven't heard of, but I highly recommend that you do check this out. It's actually executive produced by Common, yes, the rapper Common, and it's this movie called Grassland, which is directed by Sam Friedman and William Bermudez is what I'm gonna go with. Milo is right by my buddy. All right, you are about to knock off my drink. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. You okay? You okay? He almost fell off my desk. But Grassland is this movie about this woman who is growing weed in her house, has a kid who I believe is like 6, and she happens to live next door to this customs agent who is a incredibly racist customs agent. And the way that the film ramps up the tension in terms of, is she gonna get caught? What does this mean in terms of the fact that her son ends up becoming friends with this kid who lives next door? What do we know about the neighbor in terms of like why he's a piece of shit? Like the film does a really good job of peeling back these layers in terms of each character and really getting you to see their perspective, even the perspective is incredibly bigoted. You get why they think the way that they do, and it's a really interesting character study, and I really like the way things do ramp up and where things actually do end up. Plus, it's a little on the shorter side. I want to say it's not even 90 minutes, like 88 minutes, but it's a really well done film, and it's a movie that I think that if you checked out, you'd be like, yeah, like I think you'd be surprised by how much you would enjoy it. So definitely recommend checking out Grassland. That is my number 20. My number 19. It's a movie that I actually went back and rewatched about a month ago, and really just fell in love with it all over again. But there was just stuff I liked better this year. It's Thunderbolts. Ow, ah, Milo is biting my hand currently. Damn it, Milo. I love Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is a great fucking movie. I know that Marvel is not in the what would you I don't know. People aren't loving Marvel like they were loving it 10 years ago. I still think they put out incredible content, and I absolutely adored what I got from this movie here. My biggest issue with it is I don't think they handle the John Walker stuff with enough weight, given what he did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think they do just kind of brush that aside, and that does piss me off quite a bit. Yeah, I really, really don't like the way they kind of just go, well, he was Captain America. It's like, are you going to talk about why he wasn't Captain America? That is, I think, not given enough. There's not enough shine put on that. They kind of just forgive in a way that I'm like, I don't like that. In terms of each character, though, Florence Pugh continues to prove why she's one of the best actresses on the planet. Her portrayal of Yelena here, really also coming off of Hawkeye in terms of her kind of feeling lost after that revelation, and in terms of what she's been taught to believe. I really appreciate the way that they follow up on that. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, not Julia Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. It's crazy how well she fits in the MCU, and I really do love the evolution of her character of Val. David Harbour, man, he he looks so happy to not be wearing a sheriff's hat. He's just like, oh, thank fuck, I'm around people my own age. But the relationship between him and Florence Pugh's Yelena, I really do love the way Red Guardian and her interact. Some very great stuff in terms of grounded action scenes here. Sebastian Stan getting his T-1000 moment out in the middle of the desert. I love the way that whole sequence is shot. And Louis Pullman, the fact they pulled off Sentry in the MCU is something I did not think they'd be able to do, because Sentry is a horrendously complicated character. I'll just tell y'all, if you start reading Sentry and you get into like the comics lore, that shit there's a lot going on there, to put it mildly. But I love the way that Sentry works into this movie, and the fact that this is, at the end of the day, about being a part of something bigger than yourself and feeling worthy that you can move forward and move past your past mistakes. And it's so well handled in terms of mental health. I was amazed at what this film actually had to say about mental health. It really surprised me in the best way. I do kind of roll my eyes at the whole kind of fighting over the Avengers. I just call it dark. Just call them Dark Avengers. I do think that's a mistake. Maybe there is a plan. They could have a plan. I fully acknowledge that, but I think calling them Dark Avengers, it was right there. But again, they could be thinking further ahead than me. But absolutely adore this film. Definitely one worth checking out. So that's my number 19. Number 18. One of my big annoyances from this movie just comes from the fact that there's a subplot involving a dog that I just think is overcomplicated, and I think the film just I think the film almost stops to have the subplot. You do get more Tyler the Creator, which is never a bad thing, but I thought the way it was handled was just rather clunky. But outside of that, Marty Supreme, directed by Josh Safdie of the Safdie brothers, goddamn. I appreciate that Timothy Chalamet. I don't appreciate his views on a ballet or anything, but I really appreciate that Chalamet wants it. I appreciate that he wants to be the best. He called his shot. I appreciate that. I appreciate that he wants this bad enough to call his shot. He gives an incredible performance as Marty in this movie. He's great in this movie. Really the biggest issue for him, I think, last year is that he just wasn't Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. That's kind of the biggest issue. Marty Supreme's a great movie. It's the best Gwyneth Paltrow has been outside the MCU in, oh my god, since like Contagion, maybe. I mean, fuck, how long ago was Contagion? I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow is incredible in this movie. Tyler the Creator is great in this. Fran Drescher, I was so surprised to see Fran Drescher in this. I was like, oh shit, let's go. Like, she was amazing. Like, everyone in this, still doing best of 2025 brothers, almost 2028. It's not almost 2028, you big baby. But yeah, Marty Supreme is fucking amazing. I liked it quite a bit. I rewatched it last week. But I really think that dog subplot, it's just one of those things I just went, it just didn't work for me. It is a movie that it makes ping pong seem cool. It actually made me rewatch Balls of Fury because I hadn't watched that in a minute. But as much as I enjoyed it, I just couldn't find a way to get it into 100 doesn't like your God damn it, Josh. You're the worst. Not true at all. But yeah, so I there is one scene involving a ping pong paddle. You'll know the scene when you get there that I was like, God damn, this is fucked. But I like it, but it's such a safety scene. Like, as soon as this thing got brought up, I went, oh, of course. Who's directing this? Like, who's directing this? I know what I should have known that there'd be something like this. Why am I even fucking surprised? But yeah, it's such a well done flick. But I had it's definitely something that's gonna stick with me. I'll get that Wheeze box when if it comes back in online on Shop A24. I'm getting that goddamn Wheeze box. But yeah, love me some Marty Supreme. That's number 18 for me. Number 17 is a movie that I don't think was given enough credit during awards season, because I really thought this movie just kicked so much ass. It's a sentimental value. Skarsgård. They're rather talented. I think the thing that just caught me off guard in the best way in this movie was how you say Renate Renzev. She was in The Worst Person in the World, a great fucking movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it, as well as in A Different Man. The level of anxiety that she gave me in that movie, I was impressed with how much anxiety she gave me, because you completely understand why she is just as broken as she is. Like, when she's around her dad, you just feel all the anxiety rise up in her, and the way that she is clearly an actress because of that. Like, without giving too much away, I love the way their relationship is handled. And I'm gonna butcher was it it's Iga the one who plays the sister, Agnes. I can't think of anything that I've seen her in, but their relationship, the way that their relationship as siblings evolves, in terms of the way that things change between the two of them, really love their relationship. And some scenes of very heavy uncomfortableness in the way that you would kind of feel like in terms of being siblings with someone, some of those unspoken truths that are said out loud. I really like the way that was handled. I haven't even mentioned Elle Fanning yet, who she's fucking wonderful. Between Benjamin Button, A Complete Unknown, 20th Century Women. I mean, she just I haven't brought up Teen Spirit. I fucking love Teen Spirit. If you have not seen Teen Spirit, you should. I don't think she got a Best Supporting Actress nomination. She really deserved one. She's fucking amazing in this movie. And Yeah, this is going to be a performance that she's really going to be able to build upon, and people 5 years from now are going to go like, "Oh yeah, she's so great in sentimental value. Why didn't we appreciate her more in sentimental value?" You heard it here first. But yeah, absolutely love sentimental value. That's my number 17. My number 16 is a movie that I have checked out quite a bit. It's become one of those background movies I'll throw on when I'm crashing out to go to bed, just because I know the jokes now, and it's fun. The Naked Gun. I had not seen the Naked Gun films until about 4 months ago, because I watched them before the new Naked Gun came out. And so I won't lie, this is my favorite one. Yeah, this is my favorite one. I think it's incredibly well paced. I think it knows how insane it is. Has no shame about it whatsoever. Liam Neeson's fucking perfect in as Lieutenant Frank Drebin. He's a perfect successor to Leslie Nielsen. The OJ Simpson joke. I do wish that hadn't been spoiled in the trailer, but it still hits wonderfully when it's delivered here in real time in the film. Paul Walter Hauser, he's fucking great. There's some great physical bits of comedy with him, including when Drebin gets a new basically what's a Tesla in this universe. I really like the way I really like the way they're clearly ripping on Elon Musk. Which, speaking of, shout out to Danny Houston, who went all the way in on this shit. Like he understood the assignment, the level silly that this needed to be delivered with in order to make the jokes work, and he dove head first. So I give, including some stuff that I was actually surprised by that he actually said. I was like, damn, really? Okay. Without spoiling anything, but some great fucking bits. There's a joke involving a crane that made me laugh so hard, and there's a cameo with WWE champion Cody Rhodes in this movie, involving a conversation him and Frank have at a bar. And that whole sequence, the way he knocks down, basically figures out who Cody Rhodes is. That joke in particular, I actually had to pause the movie because I was starting to crack up. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, Naked Gun's kind of great, and shout out to Pamela Anderson too, who has some good. I was about to say has some good physical bits, and that was poorly phrased, but she has some good physical bits of comedy. There we go. That really did work for me, including the "I'll take a seat" bit. That was a really fun bit. But her and Leeson have really great comedic chemistry together. I had a lot of fun with this. This is just a movie that I might even watch again tonight. Like, it's one of those movies I just throw on now. Loved it. Yeah, Naked Gun, number 16 for me. Number 15 is a short film that I went ahead and watched late last year. It stars friend of the show Jennifer Levinson, and directed by a friend of the show Alman Avdan Avtanir. I know it's his name, Avedon. I know. I was like, that Avedon sounded mumbled. Almog Avedon Antonio. There we go. Say it clear. It's Taboo. Without spoiling too much, it is available on YouTube. If you just type in Taboo short film, or you can go on Jennifer's YouTube and find it there. But just to give basically the synopsis there on Letterboxd, when a young woman turns to her friend for support about a sensitive topic, she doesn't find the safe space she was looking for. Instead, she encounters a dark entity that gains strength the more attention it's given. It's about 7.5 minutes, I want to say, about 8 minutes. The path of this being a feature is not hard to see given the subject matter, and I would really encourage y'all to go ahead and check it out. I think you'll see what I mean in terms of how you could easily see it being a full feature. I'm gonna keep saying it. It screams A24. It screams Neon. So one of those. Reach out to Jennifer. Give her a budget. But the entity that you see in the short, that alone is enough to make me go like, ugh. And I mean that as a compliment. But the way that this is acted between I'm gonna butcher your name, Ashley. I'm sorry. I think Ashley Fushi is what I'm gonna go with, and Jennifer. The way that they go ahead and act alongside each other while this entity continues to grow, and you feel the tension in the room swell up. I think they do an incredible job given the subject matter, and it really does make you want to see more of this world that they're establishing here in this short. So it's free to watch on YouTube, y'all. Definitely go check it out. It's well worth your time. That was my number 15 in Taboo. My number 14 is stars one of my favorite actresses just in the game right now, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. It's Begonia. Emma Stone continues to just. One thing I really appreciate about Emma Stone, she's just taking chances. Like her shit's just like. She's just popping up and stuff where I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Like, I don't give a damn what anyone says. Cruella's fucking fun. It might be dumb, but it is fun as fuck. And I enjoy Cruella quite a bit. Yeah, I really enjoy Cruella. This was a insane movie. It's a great cat and mouse game between Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Plemons is fucking horrifying in this fucking movie. But I love, y'all know that if you've listened to the podcast for a decent amount of time, one of the things I love most, I love movies that I can just close my eyes and picture it being a Twilight Zone episode. And this would be like a long Twilight Zone episode. I could totally see this being a Twilight Zone episode. And that's one of the reasons I love it so much. And I also love the way that this shit ends, because you're watching it definitely thinking one way, like, okay, this is going on. And then where the film actually ends up, you're like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what? And then it really makes you think about the whole film from a completely different point of view. And it was funny because when I initially watched it, Alea was kind of like glancing at it every so often, but then there's a point she actually just had to sit down and just watch it, and we ended up having a really great conversation about the film afterwards. Like I really enjoyed the film. It's definitely something that I'll end up rewatching it at some point. But Begonia, that's my number 14. My number 13 is a movie that I saw back in December and have rewatched since, and it's a movie that it's a vibe, and I know that's kind of cliche to say at this point, but it really is this like wonderful vibe of like it's. I jokingly said it, but it's kind of true. It's NPR the movie. It's so much that Saturday morning NPR vibe where I'm just like, man, I want to just like smoke a joint, have a cup of coffee, and just listen to this like beautiful morning soundtrack to start my day. And the dialogue, the beautifully heavy dialogue of something like Blue Moon, it really is a vibe. It's something where you want to just feel like the conversations are just ping-ponging back and forth, and that you're amongst people who know how intelligent they are and how interesting they are. Like it's such an interesting vibe, and that's one of the things about the film that I love so much. Richard Linklater, who went ahead and directed this, of course, you know him from doing, Before Sunset, Before Sunrise, Before Midnight. He of course also recently did Hitman, and he's done some films that I really enjoy, some that I am not crazy about. Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And that's a miss for me. Scanner Darkly is a film I really enjoy. Bernie, I think, kicks so much ass. I think Bernie is not talked about nearly enough. Boyhood, eh. Um, but I think he's an incredible fucking director, and this is one of those movies where everyone just hits on every fucking cylinder that they need to. Bobby Cannavale, one of my man crushes. I love that dude. The way that him and Ethan Hawke and Andrew Scott, their chemistry, that trio's chemistry, is some of the best shit in a film in all 2025. The way that they're all able to just keep this rotating conversation going. And Margaret Qualley, um, I know we've I know we've definitely kind of been enamored by her insane roles, like stuff like The Substance, but there's a reason why she has this like very like kind of classic old school Hollywood look to her. She's astounding in this movie. She's so radiant and she gives off that old school Hollywood vibe. And her story in proximity to Ethan Hawke's character, the way that that's all tied up together, and the way that they have the way that they converse amongst each other. Quali is in here with some of the best of the best, and she never feels out of place. She not only she's more than holding her own in these scenes with Ethan Hawke. And Ethan Hawke, it's so interesting to see him playing this like really kind of pathetic loser. To see the way that he portrays this character and the way that he nails it, and you completely buy him in this role, and then yet to see him in something like The Black Phone 2 and completely buy him again, but just in a completely different way. It's fascinating how that works. But yeah, Blue Moon would be like my number 13. And lastly, my number 12 favorite film of last year, it's Weapons. I'm not gonna lie, it breaks my fucking heart. Hey, how's it going? Lucaween 454. What's going on? Happy what is it? Sunday. Happy Sunday night to you. Thanks for tuning in. But I love Weapons, and it really breaks my heart that I couldn't find a spot for it in my top 10. I just kept going back and forth, and I was just like, there's just some stuff I like more. I don't want to get into like spoilers here on Weapons. I will simply say that Julia Garner, her performance in here is fucking incredible. She really is becoming one of those actresses where I see her attached to something. I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's go. She was so much fun in Fantastic Four. I'm really excited to see what she continues to do and how she continues to evolve. But I felt so bad for her in this. I love the way that she portrays that she plays it in this movie. The way that like as the mystery begins to go and unravel, and that is one thing I appreciate so much. Happy Asian Islander Month. I was not aware. Happy Asian Islander Month. Hell yeah. Um, I I didn't realize anything about Weapons. I didn't know anything about the twist or anything going in. I went into it very cold, which I'm happy I did. I only saw a trailer for Weapons, and to be honest, if you're just a horror fan, I would just not like, if you don't know anything about Weapons, if you've somehow been able to avoid spoilers, uh I would just not watch anything about this. I would just go in cold. Josh Brolin, to the surprise of no one, does a great job in this. Benedict Wong is incredible in this as well. The kids who are in this movie, the way the kids factor into the plot, the kids are fantastic in here. And the way that the kids kind of disappearing, how that wraps up, and what their actual resolution of that is, was pretty wild to see. I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a lot darker than I thought this was going to be. So but yeah, like everything, really everything start to finish, I thought was so well done. Amy Madigan, who of course won the Oscar Best Supporting Actress, her role and how that breaks down is fucking crazy. I really love the way that the film is broken up into chapters as well, and how you get to see the story. It kind of reminds me of that movie Vantage Point, except this is executed way better in the whole concept of kind of seeing things from different people's point of views. It works really well the way that they handle it here. So yeah, Weapons would be on number 12. So going through my list here real quick, y'all, one more time. Grassland at 20, Thunderbolts at 19, Mighty Supreme at 18, Sentimental Value at 17, Naked Gun at 16, Taboo at 15, Begonia at 14, Blue Moon at 13, and Weapons at 12. Okay, y'all. So, question: should I watch Black Phone? My friends keep ranting about it. Yes, you absolutely should watch Black Phone, and you should watch the Black Phone too, because both those movies kick ass. I know Black Phone 2, I believe, is streaming on I think it's on Netflix. I think it might still be on Peacock too. But yeah, you should definitely watch both of those because both those movies kick ass. But my number, so I do have a tie as per usual for my number 10. I know it's the way I cheat. Leave me alone to my list. So for the first film tied at number 10, it is directed by Mary Bronstein, and it's called "If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You." Rose Byrne went ahead and got a Oscar nomination for Best Actress for her portrayal in this movie. I think Rose Byrne is one of the best actresses that we have working right now. Between her in this and in Spy, that show she had on Apple TV Plus, Physical, which is a horribly underrated show, which y'all did not appreciate enough. Whether it's her in that, Marie Antoinette, Place Beyond the Pines. Yeah, she's fucking great. She's great in pretty much everything that she's in, and she's amazing in this. Life is lifing for her in this movie. And I think the thing that I appreciate is how very realistic shit felt in here. Because there's just a couple points where she's just kind of looking around like, what the actual fuck? Or it just feels like there's almost someone casting a spell on you. Milo's trying to get to my bookshelf. Hey, buddy. Come on, Bubba. No going up there. But yeah, this is what he deals with sometimes. But I really love the way that she just feels overwhelmed, but it doesn't feel like cartoonishly overwhelmed. Her husband is a monster in this. That is something that I really appreciate, that this movie just goes like, yeah, no, this dude sucks, but he sucks in a way that you could tell that she's used to him being distant, and it's just become a thing that she tries to go ahead and manage stress over. And what are you stalking? Sorry, my cat is freaking me out. So, you're fine. Yeah, you good? All right. But the way that things continue with her, and the way that she's trying to balance being a mom and balance being a shrink, and her shrink played by Conan O'Brien, the way that he just wears her down. She feels like she's not being listened to at all. The way that all these things compound in her life, along with having an really absent husband, and the way that her house, things start going down wrong for house. Like it's the way that you see the walls closing in around her, and you completely just want to give her a hug and be like, girl, I'm sorry you're going through all this at the same time. It's so well handled, and it's trippy too, which is something I wasn't expecting. They definitely throw a little bit of like supernatural stuff in here in a way that I really love in terms of cinematography, in the way that kind of weaves its way into the story. Really enjoyed that. I really love where this ends up too, especially the final shot. I love a film with a a great final shot, and this film has one of my favorite final shots of the entire year. So I really dug this. This was a movie I went, yeah, I will rewatch this. This might actually even end up being one of those things I buy on like Black Friday when it's on sale. Like I really enjoyed it that much. So yeah, that would be tied for my number 10. If I had legs, I'd kick you. My other film tied at number 10 is a movie that I really don't understand why it didn't get more praise last year, because it's a great fucking movie. And given the times, unfortunately, we're living in, it definitely should be talked about more. It's No Other Choice, which is directed by Park Chan Wook, um, who of course did Old Boy. That's kind of a kind of a good movie. Um, um, this movie kicks ass. I love the fact I love the plot. The plot is simple as hell. Guy gets laid off. He realizes how incredibly shitty the job market is, and he goes, "I need to get another job. All right, how do I do it? Oh, I need to kill off my competition." Like, it sounds insane, but the way that the film goes ahead and brings all these like elements to life, and the way that you feel like the desperation of the characters in this film, it's kind of crazy how much sense the film like makes it make sense. Like it's really fucking crazy. Like the way it goes ahead and it's satirical in terms of, issues like self-worth being tied to your job and unemployment and just the job market. Like it really does a great job of making fun of all these things, but at the same time never shying away from the fact that, these are important fucking issues that probably aren't talked about nearly enough. I really appreciate the way that it goes in those things. So I really appreciate it off just that alone. And one thing too that I was really surprised by is when the film does get violent, the movie does a very good job of kind of ramping up to it. But when the movie gets violent, it gets fucking violent. You're kind of like, oh shit. And the way that it does a very good job of reminding you, like, hey, there are these things involved, and therefore there have some consequences. I love the way it handles that. So yeah, No Other Choice tied for my number 10. All right, y'all. Moving on to number 9. This is a movie that was a phenomenon. Netflix could not have greenlit greenlit the sequel fucking quick enough. I was able to avoid all spoilers and everything going into this, which I was actually pretty surprised by. But my number 9, K-pop Demon Hunters. Alea swore to me, she's like, "You will love this when you watch it." I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it at some point." Everyone I talked to had said, like, "Dude, you don't understand how good it is." I'm like, okay. And I'm usually very hesitant on stuff like that, because I'm like, oh god, don't build up too much. Maybe I won't like it. Yeah, I love this movie. I love K-pop Demon Hunters so much. I don't know if I love it like I love Ultraman Rising. I really love Ultraman Rising, but this was something that I just was not prepared for how emotional it was going to be, and how much the music, like the bops, definitely like stuck in my head, and how insane the animation was. It felt very Spider-Verse in that way, in terms of its intensity. I love the music. I love the way that it has the very clear, it's not even like a subtle message of, if you're LGBTQIA, that doesn't make you like a demon or make you unworthy of love. Like the dot is not hard to connect there. Like I found it very funny that there are people going like, this couldn't be about being gay, and I'm like, really? You don't think so? I think it's quite fucking obvious, actually. But I love the way that the film goes ahead, and that is a part, that is a huge part of his focus, is just because you're different doesn't mean that you're any less than. Um, and I love that that's kind of the big crux of like the big fight between the siblings. The fact that, like you didn't trust us enough to actually, to be able to handle this secret. Like we love you. We're here for you. I love that. I genuinely love that. So, but yeah, great action sequences, great music, great animation, great voice acting across the board. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say. Like I really was like watching it and kind of mad I didn't have more gripes about it, but I just dug the hell out of it. So definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth your time. Please check it out if you haven't yet. It's on Netflix. But K-pop Demon Hunters, my number 9. All right, my number 8 is directed by one of my favorite actors, and I won't lie, um, it might be, if it's not his best film, it's his second best film. And I go back and forth because I love A Star Is Born. But my number 8 favorite film is This Thing On, starring Will Arnett and Laura Dern. This is directed by Bradley Cooper, B Coops, I call him. We're friends. But hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. What up, bro? So Will Arnett has really found this incredible niche of playing just like depressed people, whether it's like a depressed dad or horse. Um, like Will Arnett is just very good at playing depressed, and this movie starts off with him and his wife, played by Laura Dern, basically going, we really tried to make this work, but it's not in the cards. Like we need to break up." And so he ends up on a night in town out in New York, and he stumbles into a club, and they happen to be doing open mic night, doing an open mic. So he goes up on stage, does a few minutes, and even though he sucks at it, as he is reminded by multiple people, he goes ahead and kind of becomes a stand-up and starts to find some genuine healing through his, shitty stand-up comedy. And what I really enjoy about this movie is it's a very good lesson in, you don't have to be great at everything that you make a hobby. Like sometimes you're just not going to be good at something. I mean, I'll be real. 13 years, God, 13 years of doing this podcast. I think I'm just get kind of it's kind of good at it. So it's not always about being great at something, but if it nourishes your soul, if it nourishes your spirit, you find some joy out of doing it. Who the fuck cares? That's what matters at the end of the day. But it's very interesting how they have kind of the conversation about what you put in your stand-up in terms of like how much are you pulling from your relationships, how much are you pulling from your intimate relationships in terms of putting out into your comedy. Even if you're not doing it consciously, like maybe subconsciously, you're just like, oh yeah, they said this thing one time, let's talk about that. It's really interesting how it has that conversation and some of the immediate consequences of that, which, oh man, there's a scene here that I was like, oh, like I was laughing, but I've been at an open mic when something like this has occurred, and it is the most uncomfortable shit. So, and I'll just leave it there. There is a sequence in this movie, and I won't say between which two characters, but there's a sequence between two characters where one of the characters says why they don't like this other character. And it's so honest. And it's one of those things where I was actually impressed with the uncomfortable nature of it, because it's so honest. Because it's one of those things that you totally see happening, and you're like, God damn. Like, it's such a brutal, like, it's not even like, it's so interesting how it can be mean, and yet it doesn't come across mean spirited. And I think when you see the scene I'm talking about, you'll know what I mean. Again, don't want to spoil too much, but it's one of those movies that as I was watching it more and more, I was like, yeah, this is a total me movie. This is a movie about stand up. It's a movie about how, if you're a creative, you often do find yourself harping on your friends, but hopefully it's all love. But yeah, I just adored this. This is one of those movies I was like, I'm gonna need to rewatch this again. And that is one thing I'll say. Every movie that I have here on my top 10, I've watched at least twice. So, but I adore this movie. It's on Hulu or Disney Plus right now. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend checking this out. But yeah, is this thing on? That is my number 8. All right, let me take a little sip here. That's the stuff. All right, so my number 7 is it's a sequel to a movie that I can't remember if it made my. I can't remember if I put it on my worst, not my worst of, my best of, or not. I'm pretty sure it was on my best of. I believe Prey was on my best of that year, but yeah, my number 7 favorite film is Predator: Badlands. Directed once again by Josh Trachtenberg. Josh Trachtenberg's been killing it between 10 Cloverfield Lane, Prey, and now Predator: Badlands. You're 3 for 3, dude. Keep it up. I love the way that this opening starts with the Predator, like really being like a punk. Honestly, and the way that the Predator is set on this this revenge mission. It's so fucking cool the way it's handled, and I was not expecting to feel sympathy for a Predator. That is something that I got that sentence out of context, but but I was kind of floored at the level of emotion that this movie actually has. Elle Fanning, once again, Elle Fanning playing dual roles in this movie, and the chemistry that she has with the Predator in this movie. I really just found myself surprised. That's the word that kept popping up. Is I consistently was feeling surprised by how emotional this movie was getting. The action bits in here are so well handled. It really does a great job of setting the foundation of this film with some pretty big action stuff that happens early on, including the thing that sets the Predator on its journey. And then you don't get a little action for a little bit, but it's because it's going ahead and it's informing you on who the Predator is, and with this android and everything, and the way that it goes ahead and ties everything up before it starts to ramp up the action again. You're like, oh hell yeah. The last action sequence in particular, like the last 20 minutes in here, is just action palooza, but by the time it gets to that point, it feels like it's earned all the action bits that's thrown at you. And I was so happy where this film ended up. And I hope the next film I hope it is a sequel. I hope it's a direct sequel to Badlands, because I just adored this. So this is also, I believe, streaming on Disney Plus now. So if you have not checked it out, you definitely do. Badlands, my number 7. My number 6. I did not put this director's last film on my best of. To be quite honest, I could have, but I remember 2020. I know, Milo. You want pets? Yeah, I'm like Milo being mad at me. But I could have put it on. That year, but I remember 2022 was a stacked year. But I couldn't find. I couldn't not put this on my list this. My number 6 is Frankenstein. So look, I've seen Frankenstein. I've seen multiple iterations of Frankenstein, but the way that this feels so suited. You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of when I heard that Tim Burton was going to be doing Dark Shadows, and I went, "Oh yeah, that should be a slam dunk." And I won't lie, that kind of popped in my head as I kind of sat down and watched this, like, oh, this might be too much of a fit. Like maybe he just misses the layup because, this is so suited for something that Del Toro should be doing. And no, this is just awesome from start to finish. The moment you see the monster, the moment you see the creature, and he's just like throwing fishermen like they're fucking nothing. Um, the moment you see that, the moment you see Victor Frankenstein, running towards his boat, trying to hide from the creature. The way that they build the tension of the creature actually getting onto the boat, like there's so many moments watching the movie. I'm just like, God damn, the Toro just got this. One of the things I love too, because I'm a nerd like this, the costume design. The costumes were amazing in this fucking movie, even just down to like the townspeople walking around. Um, Everything you can just feel Del Toro's, like you feel Del Toro like looking throughout the film, like from the score to the costuming to the sets that just feel like they're their own character in the film. Like it really feels like it's adding this ambiance and really is enhancing the film, everything that you see on screen. um Jacob Elordi, I've heard he's doing what he can on Euphoria right now. Apparently, tonight's episode is where a lot of people say to jump the shark, which holy shit, like I don't know what happens in tonight's episode of Euphoria, but if you're thinking it's only jumping the shark now. But Jacob Elordi, good for him, man. One thing I will say watching this movie is I never saw Jacob Elordi when I was looking at the creature on screen. I genuinely forgot it was him. Like he transformed himself so much into the creature. I wasn't even thinking that it was him. I can't help but wonder, because I know he had to drop out because of scheduling conflicts. I believe it was Andrew Garfield, right? Garfield was supposed to be the creature originally. I do wonder what movie we get with Andrew Garfield in it, but goddamn, Elordi was amazing in this. He was absolutely incredible. Oscar Isaacs, like it's not fair because Oscar Isaac is so good. I feel like we don't give him enough credit. We just expect him to be good, but he's great in this. Down to his narration, where he has these moments where he's talking about what a shitty, upbringing he had in terms of his father, and the way he completely passes that on to the creature, including saying one of the phrases, one of the gross phrases that his dad used to say to him about intelligence, and you're just like, God damn, dude, like you're even saying the same shit and it's not clicking. It's fascinating, really, how his relationship with the creature evolves and deteriorates, and how it continues to evolve. I got to shout out to Mia Goth in this, fresh off the Maxine trilogy, which I dig all three of those movies, by the way. But the way that Mia Goth and Elordi have so much chemistry without saying anything to each other, the way that they're able to just communicate so much just through glances and just with facial expressions, which is a lot of what Elordi is doing for, I'd say, like probably 3/4 of his performance, because so much of it he's not saying shit. Like he really is just having to act with his body, and he's so great at doing that. I give him all the credit in the world on that. But I there's so many moments of dialogue in this movie, including a moment where Victor Frankenstein flat out says that God is inept. And I was like, oh shit, you're going there. And it's this great sequence involving reanimation in the early stages of Frankenstein's work. And it's so interesting to watch this man with such insane ambition and knowing where it's going to go and what it will ultimately cost him. I thought Del Toro breathed new life into this. There is a mini movie with the creature and this blind man that is something that actually bumped the movie a half star up for me. I thought that whole mini sequence was so well handled. But yeah, I love Frankenstein. I'm very happy I watched it before I sat down to do this because I enjoyed it that much. But yeah, it is my number 6. So yeah, number 6, Frankenstein. All right. Pardon me. Halfway home. All right. So my number 5 favorite film, I mentioned the original film earlier. It is once again directed by Scott Derrickson. And it also stars Ethan Hawke. It's the Black Phone 2. So okay. I saw the Black Phone late. I think I saw it maybe December of that year. Um, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was incredibly well done, well acted. It's a movie I rewatched last October because I love Black Phone so much. So when I heard they were doing a sequel, I was like, I don't know. Like the first one's so great. Why would you mess with this? And I am proud to say that I was wrong. I was actually wrong about this because Black Phone 2, with a great catchphrase or great kind of title phrase, dead is just a word. I love that. Um the Grabber is back. Ethan Hawke returns once again to play him, and the movie does a very interesting thing. You don't see the Grabber on screen for almost the first hour of this movie. Like the Grabber's doing shit. You don't see the Grabber doing shit, but you know it's him. And the initial meeting of Finn and the Grabber once again reuniting is so fucking intense, and it's so measured, and the movie has just been slowly turning up the dial of intensity to lead to this moment. And from this moment on, where you see the Grabber on screen, all bets are off. And the movie just continues to ramp up and ramp up and ramp up and ramps up to this amazing third act that I was on the edge of my seat for. And the way the film ends, I just went fuck to the yes. Gwen in the movie, the sister, who's played once again by Madeline McGraw. Shout out to her and Mason Thames, who plays Finn again. They crush this shit. They absolutely crush this shit. And the way that it flips the trauma of the first film and really takes a different approach to how they talk about it. I thought that was very well handled. I thought that was incredibly well done. There's a lot that happens here that I do not want to spoil, but I will say that I definitely wish we got more. I really wish we got more stuff set in winter in terms of horror. I think it'd be cool to get more stuff set in winter, just in terms of a backdrop in general, especially for action stuff. You look at something like Violent Night. The winter can actually be a really cool way to enhance everything around you. And I thought this was, I thought the winter Wonderland backdrop was horribly well handled here, and it really added a whole new layer of tension to this movie. So yeah, hell yeah, absolutely love Black Phone 2. I think that's streaming on Peacock still, so if you have not checked it out, you really need to, because it's fucking great. But yeah, Black Phone 2, my number 5. All right, my number 4. So I didn't see the first film when this came out. I don't even remember when the first film came out, to be honest, but I watched the first film because I hadn't seen it, and I heard a couple people really hyping this film up, and I went, okay, you know what? Like, I'll check it out. Why not? It's I think I'm saying I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Neja 2, which is directed by Zhao Zi, who I believe that did the first film. They did, yeah. So here's the thing. The first film would take way too long to even try to explain to you. But basically, there are two characters, Neja and Ao Bing, who basically, through the events of the first film, are no longer in their physical bodies, but they're given a second chance at life. And there's a dragon clan and a celestial force that are going ahead and they're fighting. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, but I will simply tell you, Neja, please watch that movie. I think it's on HBO Max if memory serves, but that first film is about 2.5 hours. This film also is about 2.5 hours, I want to say, but it is one of the quickest. Oh, it's over 2.5. It's an hour 44. I will tell you though, y'all, it is like the quickest 2.5 hours. Like it's stuff full of information. There's so much information going on, but the film does a very good job of walking you through everything so that when you get to that third act and things are starting to come together and the film is piecing together all these things that's given you throughout the film, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, hell yeah, now I'm all in on this. I don't normally say this because I do think that sometimes it is a cop out for people to kind of just to not criticize films. This movie does a very good job of teaching you how to watch it. That's the best way I can kind of put it. It's like even if you're feeling overwhelmed, the film is going to do a good job of keeping you caught up. So I would highly recommend watching this movie. Definitely not a movie you can be like glancing at your phone at. You do want to be paying attention watching this. But I will tell you, hell yeah. Like you don't understand how much you need this in your life. Like that's how good this movie is. So yeah, Ninja 2, that is my number 4. All right, moving on to my number 3. I love a good spy flick. This director is one of my favorite directors. I wish he would shut the fuck up saying dumb shit about AI. I believe it's him. I think he's been saying dumb shit about AI. I'll be real, it seems like there's like someone dumb coming out in Hollywood saying something about AI every other day. So maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. He did talk about AI and how it was great. Yeah, shut the fuck up. But Black Bag is my number 3 favorite film. Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. So I didn't know I needed them as a couple, but first off, they're a hot fucking couple. Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, yeah, they could both do far worse. But what I love about this movie is that this film is relentless in showing their love for each other and that they would be willing to do anything, including break the law, to keep each other safe. Like they are ride or die for each other. And the film does a good job at points to making go, are they ride or die? Or are they the movie does just enough to make you kind of question it. And there's some really great red herrings. There's some amazing dialogue. There is a sequence at dinner during a dinner party that I was laughing at because of how tense it was. And that whole sequence, it's so fascinating to see how everyone is kind of filling each other out and seeing like, okay, are you on the level? Are you fucking with me? Are you being a spy right now? Are you being a friend? The film does a very good job of making you go back and forth in terms of where people's alliances lay. And each character, each of the main characters, whether it's Michael Fassbender's George or it's Cate Blanchett's Catherine, they each get these moments to show why they clearly believe in this marriage so much and why they clearly believe in each other so much. And it's very smart the way they do it independently, so that when they are together, you go, okay, maybe you guys can make this work, or maybe you guys are trying to fuck each other over. I'm not sure. The movie does a great job of doing this kind of give and take with it. But I love where the film ends up. I think you could do a sequel for this, but I found myself just having the best time and having so much fun and cheering and being amazed at points, appalled at other parts in the best way. But I adored this movie. So yeah, Black Bag, my number 3 favorite film of 2025. All right, moving on to number 2. Um, this had to be my number 2. And quite frankly, it's because he did such a great job with the first one. Um, I always love a good original IP, and this is a sequel to original IP. And I will be the first to admit, when I heard they were doing a sequel, I was like, okay, like maybe it'll be good. And not only was it good, it actually surpasses the first film for me in in every way, whether it's the character moments, whether it's the action, whether it's the jokes. And like a lot of sequels do, especially in terms of kids' films, it needed to get darker, and it does a great job of doing so while still maintaining the main heart of what made the first film so great. My number 2 is The Bad Guys 2. Once again, directed by Pierre Fairfeld. The now good, the reformed, I would say, Bad Guys. I love that it's showing a great montage of them trying oh so hard to be good, but then when they're dragged back into a new stake, or a new not new stake, heist. Good lord, that's how tired I am. When they're dragged into a new heist, and given some personal reasons in which to go ahead and go along with it, it goes ahead and gets them back on the wrong side of the law. And the way that it goes ahead and ramps that tension up, including the reason that they're doing the heist in the first place, the person who has forced them to go along with it, the consequences of which, and where this film ends up. There are a couple times I really thought that the film had written itself into a corner, and I was so happy to see that at the end of the film where it ended up, where I went, oh my god, you found a way out of this, god damn it, well done. I don't even want to get into any of the action sequences here. I will say there is something in a wrestling ring that I went, hell yeah, I love this. There's a great flashback to even before the first film, an opening that I adored. I went, fuck yes, I love the way that you went ahead and tied this back to the original film, and again, to where this film ends up, and some of real moments of tension. There is something that happens kind of before the final third act that had me quite emotional, that I was like, damn, like I actually found a couple moments watching this where I was actually crying. I no shame in my game, damn it. But yeah, I was really impressed with this movie, and I found myself really really amazed at how much fun I had and how much I really wanted this to just keep going, and how I cannot wait for a third film in this trilogy. So yeah, Bad Guys 2, that's my number 2. So all right, y'all. So to run my list back, tied for number 10, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, and No Other Choice, tied at 10. My number 9 is K-Pop Demon Hunters. My number 8 is This Thing On? Number 7, Predator Badlands. Frankenstein, my number 6. Black Phone 2, my number 5. Ninja 2, my number 4. Black Bag, my number 3. Number 2, The Bad Guys 2. And my number 1 favorite film of 2025 is an Oscar-winning film for Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor. It is Sinners. I don't know how Ryan Coogler keeps doing this. At some point, he's got to make something bad. Like I think, right? Like just playing the odds. Like he has to make something bad. Like he has to. But goddamn, like I don't know how he just doesn't fucking miss. As my letter review said, Coogler doesn't fucking miss. I thought Wakanda Forever would have been the big slip up. You know, you lose Chadwick. Oh my god, what are you going to be able to do? Oh my god, he made another great movie. Like I don't know what it's going to take at this point. but like the dude just he gets this shit, man. I don't have enough time to even get into Sinners, but everything from that one music sequence involving music history, like the history of music, that alone was enough to get an Oscar nomination. That is such a beautifully visually profound scene that it's something that just floored me. It's something I've gone back to multiple times. Everyone in that movie is just on it. Just everyone in that movie. Haley Steinfeld, fucking amazing. Michael B. Jordan playing two distinct goddamn characters. That's why he won the Oscar, people. Michael B. Jordan's amazing in this. The fact that that's Miles Cadden's first role is insane to me. How the fuck is he so good as Sammy? Like, that's your first role, dude? Like that alone, that's such a what sort of moment for that young brother, and he's incredible in it. Yeah, just everyone's great in that. Jack O'Connell, Wumi Musaku is great in it. Jamie Lawson, Delroy Lindo. Oh my god, just that it's one of the best ensemble casts that's ever existed on screen, and it's just from the score to the costumes to the cinematography to the violence, which is unapologetic in how violent it is, to just these incredible hero moments, these moments that just break your heart and make you just want to. There's so much going on in that film. I've rewatched it twice, and it still doesn't feel like I've seen it enough. It still feels like there's more that I'm like. It will end up being like Black Panther, where like I just find myself finding something new about it each time, to be amazed by and to be inspired by. But it's one of the best films I've seen in the last 5 years. It's one of the best films I've seen of the decade, in the last decade. And just Ryan Coogler doesn't miss. God damn it. He just does not fucking miss. I adore this movie, and I can't wait to watch it again. I will be watching this again come October. That's for damn sure. But Sinners is my number one favorite film of 2025. It's a brilliant film. It's on HBO Max, people. If you have not seen it, please watch Sinners. I seriously, watch Sinners. Watch Sinners as soon as you can. But everybody, that's it. That's my honorable mentions and my best of 2025. I will post my Letterboxd link so y'all can actually see the list. But yeah, let me know what your favorite films of 2025 were. But yeah, y'all, moving forward, I will probably have some stuff coming out in terms of reviews from last year, because I will probably just drop some reviews. I got some stuff still pre-recorded, so I'll probably do that. But in terms of what's coming up in terms of for the rest of the week, I'll have a review up probably Saturday. Probably this Saturday night when I get home from work. But I will have a review for Obsession and Is God Is. I might go see Mortal Kombat 2. We will see how we'll see what my night is looking like, but I might go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I'll have reviews up for Is God Is and Obsession later this week. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, take care of each other, give someone a hug, give someone a compliment. We can always do more positivity. I will be back to what am I going to be streaming this week? I'll probably stream AW Collision this week because I am off on Sunday, so that might be a Sunday morning stream, but I will keep you all updated. So definitely follow me on the socials. Go and follow the show on YouTube at The Real Pineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, TikTok at J Hunter Real Pineapple. That's J Hunter and then REEL and then Pineapple. You can follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. Follow me on Threads at jhunterrealpineapple. I've been using my Threads more. I will have a review this on Wednesday. I will have a review for Daredevil Born Again season 2, and I'll review for The Punisher One More Kill on Wednesday night, because I will be watching that. We will be watching that Wednesday, so I'll have a review for both of those on Wednesday. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, take care of each other, give someone a hug, give someone a compliment. We can all use more positivity out there. And never forget, as always, to keep it real. Thank you so much, y'all. I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.